Welcome back. Thank you for joining the Journeys of Faith. Today, I want to briefly allow you to be part of my journey. So, one of the very vital lessons that I had to learn as I began my faith journey with the Lord was that control is the Lord's. So as human beings, we want control. We want to know how things are going to go. We plan our lives and we make and set these goals for ourselves because it allows us to have a sense of control. And we want to have that control because in control there's safety and there's comfort and there's peace because we know what's going to happen next. But the truth of the matter is that we're not in control and our lives are being written by the Lord. And so the only way that we can have any measure of control is by going before the Lord and asking Him for the instructions that we need for our lives. I had to get rid of the mindset that it had to be the way that I wanted to be, or else it was a bad day, or else it wasn't going to be okay. So we face different circumstances, and when life takes a turn, I can't decide to respond in my emotions, because when I respond in my emotions, that's where I go wrong. So when life takes a turn and when things are not going as I feel like they should go, it's the worst time for me to wallow in my emotions. Is the worst time to give into my emotions. So I had to learn that my life is being written by the Lord. And when things are not going the way that I perceive that they should be going, then I need to slow down. I need to take a step back and realign myself. So in the Word of God, it says that in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So right off the bat, we know that control is not our own. We know that control is the Lord. He created everything. He created everything. He created me. He created you. And He's the one in control. The Word of God says that by Him all things consist. And the Word of God is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. So when I feel like things are not going the way that they should be going, when the adversities come or when the chaos is happening, I need to go to the one who is in control of it all. It's not a bad thing to want a level of control, but it becomes a bad thing when we begin to act out of character, out of line with the Word of God. Then it becomes a problem, because as sons of God, there is a measure of control that we do have. But the thing is, we have to be able to hear the Lord in order to have that control. So that means that when things are turning left, or when things are happening not in the way that I feel like they should be happening, my instant reaction should not be to start figuring out the solution by myself. But my instant reaction should be, okay, God is the solution. So I'm going to go to God to find my answer instead of trying to figure it all out by myself. Because if having control makes us feel empowered as though we're God, when we use that in the wrong way, or when we attain that in the wrong way, then it brings chaos. If we step back and we take a look, what man does is when there's a problem, or when life takes a turn, what we do in our natural selves is try to find all the solutions that we can find with our natural strength. But what we should be doing is going to God and asking God, because He's the one writing our story. He's the one allowing the things that are happening to happen. Example, in the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve were instructed, and they were told they could eat of every tree within the garden except that of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And the serpent came and he tempted Eve. In that moment, Eve had a decision to make. She had the decision to not eat the fruit because God told her not to eat it. So had her response in that situation, a completely new situation that she did not perceive, much like when we feel like we're losing control, we did not perceive that this was going to happen, but it is happening. So as it's happening and I'm all stirred up, what I need to do, what you need to do, is step back and say, wait, hold on. Who here has the answer? I surely don't. Right now, I don't have the answer. And I need to go talk to the one who is the controller of my life, who has already planned it all before I was even born. I need to go and ask my Father, what is going on? What are you trying to teach me? What are you trying to tell me? What is my next step? So in my journey of faith, I've learned that when things are not going my way, it is not okay to react in my emotions. It's not okay to react within myself, because in reacting within myself, I give access to the enemy to even mess more with me. So as sons of God, we have to truly believe that God is the lamp unto our feet and the light unto our path. There are going to be temptations, there are going to be trials, there are going to be hard days, there are going to be things that I continue to face, and things that you're going to face as you go in this journey. And you're going to have to make the decision that without God, I can't have any measure of control. And so knowing that truth, knowing that God is in control and by Him all things consist, knowing that God is the creator, God is the author, when things spiral, I need to go to Him, because any measure of control, true control that I have is from the Lord. Because we as mankind can think that we have control, but it's a false control, because without God and without obeying God, man doesn't really have control, because they're not hearing from the right source. And if that be the case, that in order to have control, then we have to hear from the controller, God, then if we're not hearing from Him, it's a false control, because we can feel like, okay, this is God, and then the next moment it's not God. That's that false control. So it's important that we know and that we continue to learn as children of God that the control is His, and it is through my obedience and through my seeking Him and through my humility that I get any measure of control from Him by hearing from Him. He has it all in His hands. And so we don't have to act in our emotions when things are not going our way. We don't have to respond in fear when things are not going our way, but instead we ought to know that God is sovereign and that God is the one in control, and that we don't have to fear. We don't have to fear what the world fears. We don't have to fear the circumstances, because we believe that it's for our good. We believe that it's for sharpening us. We believe that He has an expected end for us. So when life, when situations come, we don't respond in the emotional instabilities that the situation brings, but we respond in soberness, in that we go to the Lord because He's in control, so that we can have control. So control is the Lord, and control can be mine. Control can be yours. But in order to attain that, we have to absolutely obey the Lord. So that means when the spin happens, I can't spin out with it. When the spin happens, I need to be still, and I need to go to God and know that He's God. And if I call Him my God, and I do call Him my God, then I need to go find my stability and my instruction and my solution from Him. So that is a very critical part of our faith walk, a very critical part of my faith walk, because as long as I think I am in control, I'm not teachable. As long as I think things should be my way, I'm not moldable. And I had to learn that, and I'm constantly learning that. And it takes a great measure of humility and a great measure of accepting that God is God and He is the controller of my life. He's holding the remote to my life. And so if I want to go anywhere, I need His instruction. We need His instructions, and we need to obey it to the fullest. Thank you for joining the Journeys of Faith. I hope to see you on my next video as we continue to grow and as we continue to go in the faith.